so we've covered the basic movements, the hinge, the squat, the lunge, the push, the pull, the rotation. Let's talk about some combination patterns. Now, the goal isn't to try to get all of them. This, again, a grassroots one, we're just brainstorming. But some of the ones we want people to understand are the squat into the overhead push. And again, our tool or device, the training device of choice, a lot of times might be the Viper for this. So again, that good squat, but same cueing. Set, shoulders externally rotating. Have everyone talking the same language. Set, check for that extra rotation. Abs engage. Sink the butt backwards. You can see how I drop my elbows down, shoulders back, and then thrust. Staying nice and tall, trying to get the shoulders back. This is one combination pattern. So we can show it with the Viper. As I mentioned, we can show it single arm with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and let them all feel that push pattern. Squat to push. And again, the goal here is momentum. Mention momentum. We're transferring force from the hips, core stable, to the arm. It's power from the legs transfer to the arm. So we'll talk about that. Tempo's moderate right now. Good control. 1, 2, 3, pop. 1, 2, 3, thrust. That's one pattern we'll use a lot of. And then again, the pattern getting it off the floor, we keep reiterating, is the high pull component of an Olympic clean lift. But we're using toys or devices instead of the actual bar and weights. But the clean, again, can be the bias, can be on the squat pattern, which in most cases it will be shoulder external rotation, single arm, shoulder external rotation. Okay? And again, if we wanted a little bit more on the hinge, just don't bend the knees as much, which sometimes we might ask. There's the hinge, bias on the hamstrings and glutes into the high pull. Single arm hinge to the high pull. Now with the kettlebell, at some point we'll have to teach them how to make the transition to do the second part of the lift. So they'll have to learn how to do that. And then into the overhead. We can decide if we want to go into more depth and detail on teaching those combinations in this class later. But even with the Viper, from the ground, up, up. Or one motion would be the snatch. See, I don't stop. First one I recoiled. 2 patterns in one, or just one pattern. We'll use variations of all those, and the same with the sandbag. Again, just picking different apparatuses or the medicine ball, same concept. We love the sandbags because they're very safe. If you drop them, they're pretty safe. Yeah. But it's probably worth everyone at least getting a little bit comfortable with the sandbags. Even if we teach them the lunges, you might even teach back to the over the shoulder pattern. So we can decide later how detailed we want to get with each motion. Other combination pattern is squat rotation. So a lot of times we'll be rotating with a squat combined. The rip trainer will be squatting, turning, and maybe even adding a push in. Squat, turn, but again, the key we're looking for is that turn of the hips. Making sure everyone's turning their hips, not just twisting their spine. Whether we use, those who are more experienced with the rip are using rotation with this grip, keeping this hand near so the emphasis is on rotation and squatting. And if we want to add pushing in, but look at my hips are always turning. That's the key with the squat pattern. And lastly, the lunge with a rotation pattern, because we'll be doing lots of rotation patterns where we lunge. So show it first with the split squat. Turn, see the navel turn, up. Let everyone feel that turn with the lunge pattern, both directions, in and out. That's actually a split squat, but with the lunge pattern it will be more stepping. Stepping and turning. Stepping laterally and turning. You start to link the patterns together. So we got to teach the basics of those combination patterns. And there's probably a few other ones, but those are the ones that come to mind quickly off the top of my head.